Over the last few years of being a pastor, I've had an opportunity to speak into many people's marriages. People come to me for marital advice and counseling, and though I'm not a counselor, I am a spiritual counselor and I can speak into those things. And I've done everything from premarital counseling, which is always a lot of fun because you get a chance to see these two people as they grow together and as they start off on a journey that they have no clue what they're in for. And then I've done lots of marital counseling, and usually that involves quite a bit of friction as people are going through a rough patch. And then I've even done post-marital counseling, which usually involves lots of tears. But over the course of time of sitting down with couples, I've seen that there are really three things that have emerged, that if you do these three things, you can make your marriage, your relationship work and make it work really well. And I wanted to share those three things with you. Step one, admit that you've been stupid. You know, if you've been in a relationship with anybody for any period of time, you recognize that people step on each other's toes. Like, we do things to each other that hurt each other, whether it is intentional or not intentional. It's inevitable in a relationship that you are going to get some hurts along the way. Now, the key is when you do that to admit that what you've done has been stupid. And you know, the only way to do that is become self-aware. One of the greatest gifts that you can give somebody in a relationship is simply becoming aware of how you act, how you function on a regular basis, and how you respond under stress. I had a seminary professor who was very wise, and he instructed all of us that people tend to do one of four things when stress enters their situation. Either they become very controlling because they want to control the situation, or they become manipulative because they want to manipulate the situation, or they withdraw because they don't want to deal with the situation, or they become complacent because they just want to make it over and they give in to whatever the demands are. Everybody falls into one of those categories. So which category do you fall in when stress enters your situation? You see, when you become more aware of how you function in a stressful situation, you become less likely to hurt people in a situation. But step one is admit that what you've done to the other person is stupid. Step two, stop doing stupid. If you've done something that you know has hurt the other person in a relationship, then stop doing whatever that action is. You see, you can't control the other person, but you can control you. You directly control your actions. There are external factors that can play a part of that, but ultimately it is your decision to do X or Y or Z. So if you've admitted what you've done as being stupid and hurtful, then stop doing what is stupid and hurtful. It's amazing how that works. Lastly is step three, and this one pertains particularly to those of us who call ourselves Christians. You know, Ephesians chapter 5 says that we are to submit ourselves one to each other. That just doesn't play well in our culture. We don't like placing ourselves as a servant to someone else. But for a Christ-centered marriage, to work, it involves us submitting ourselves to Jesus and us submitting ourselves to our spouse or to the other person that we are in a relationship with. Both doing this, both with a heart of servanthood to each other. And a part of submitting yourself to the other person is submitting yourself to Jesus. You know, I firmly believe that the only way that a relationship can truly work is if both people are growing in their relationship with Christ, who are repenting of the stupid that they've done and placing themselves as a servant to Jesus. And by doing that, you can be humble enough to place yourself as a servant to your spouse. And if both people are doing that, a relationship is going to be incredible. Your relationship is going to have the potential to be the best thing that you've ever seen. And in that same chapter, Paul tells the Ephesians that husbands, you are to love your wives as Christ loved the church. In case you missed it, Jesus died for the church, a church that left him at the cross. So what does that say for us in the way that we love and submit ourselves to the other person? It's a powerful example that we need to follow. So let's recap. Step one, admit that you've been stupid. Step two, stop being stupid. Step three, submit yourselves one to each other. You can do those three things in a relationship. I promise you, your relationship's going to be a whole lot better. Let me know what you thought and comment down below. If you liked this video, make sure you share it with your friends. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. God bless.